Happy Pura Vida Tuesday. It's Cody with Pura Vida Pythons, and really cool video this week. We're going to be setting up the Vision V-35 rack. We just got it all set up, and yeah, really excited to show you guys all about it. And it couldn't happen at a better time. We have 5 little baby snakes on the way, so we got to move some snakes into this to make room for them. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so we are in the living room. It gets a little hot in the snake room. I don't know how long this is going to take, but first things first, we're going to undo all this stuff, take a look at all the parts, and then we'll start building it. And I'll let you guys know from start to finish how long it takes us. So let's go ahead and open all these boxes. Guys, we got it all out of the boxes, as you can see back here. Tons of boxes, really good packaging though. So we can check out the tubs first, and we'll get those out of the way. These are the new tubs we're gonna do. So these are the V-35s. They will go in sideways like this, so there'll be 2 on each side. We have the V-70 currently, so it's one that just goes down the middle, so that'll be nice. They just got these new bowl holders, which I was really excited about, and that's one of the things they messaged me about, and they were like, hey, we really want you to try these out and see how they are. So I'm really excited about that. They gave us a bunch of deli cups too to put in there, so we get all that out of the way for now. But really excited about this tub. It's gonna be a really good size for most adults. Definitely males can be in here. You know, your growing up snakes is a really good size for that. And then we have the V-70 for breeder operations and really big girls and stuff like that. So really excited. Let's go ahead and get these out of the way. We got all this stuff. I went ahead and looked at the directions, and it's very similar to the V-70 that we set up a few years ago, so we should be pretty familiar with it. Really good, really easy instructions. This kind of stuff is like all over the place, but I will definitely make sure to explain what we're doing with all this stuff. Heat cables, and yeah, we'll kind of address it when we get there, so let's just go ahead and get into it. First thing we're going to do is attach the wheels onto these. So you come with 2 sets of poles in here, and there's 6 each, and there's a short one and a long one. On the long one, you're going to go ahead and attach these casters, these wheels on. And yeah, our dogs love to fight, but we don't really want to put them outside because of the rain, and we're getting that tropical storm through right now, so bear with us. Alright, got all the wheels ready, and they do have this tool in there. I do believe we'll be using this here in a little bit to tighten this up. So you just want to come down to this side. I guess this is the female side, and then here's the male side, and we're just going to put each of these in. Alrighty guys, so now here's where the tool comes into place. So when it gets down here at the bottom, it kind of turns if you try to tighten it. So you just want to use this to really get it on there. I wouldn't do it super tight, but definitely make sure it's secure on each one of those. So we're gonna go ahead and put the rest of those on, but that's pretty much what you're gonna do. First thing is attach all those to the longest pole. Got all the poles attached to the casters, and now we're gonna move on to the platform where the tubs are gonna be sitting and hanging from. So if you wanna come over here, you get a bag of these. And to be honest guys, we actually messed up, so we had to redo all this. But you get a bag of these screws right here. You get 2 per each of these little, and these are your slide stops. So, and I'll show you what that looks like. So each one of these is gonna go, you're gonna push your screws through here and then pop these on the flat side of these things, not the side. You can see where they're gonna come through here. You wanna make sure it's on the flat side. You wanna make sure this is flush with here. So the flat side is gonna be on the flat, and you wanna put them across the middle. You'll see spots form, 2, 2, and 2. And what that is gonna do is, I'll show you real quick, so it's pretty easy. You just pop them in. They're nice and secure. Just like that. Let me grab a tub and I'll show you. So what's gonna happen is when it's in there, these are gonna be right beside it, so it gives them a nice guide to where they're not going off the track and running into each other and stuff. It's gonna be really nice, and there's gonna be poles here too as well to keep that going, to make sure nothing gets off track. But that's all right there, so you can move around, and they're easy to slide in and out, but they're not gonna be like crossing the track and stuff. So that's what that's gonna look like. Another important thing, guys, is you want to make sure, and if you do it right, I don't think you'll have enough for one of them anyway, but the one that's going to go on the very bottom of your rack, you will not need anything on the bottom there, because obviously no tub is going to be sliding onto that portion. But saying all that, we are ready to start putting this onto the casters and the poles. And so a big important thing here is you want to make sure, so this will be the back, because this is where your heating cable is going to run, your heat spot for your tubs. They'll go in this way, pull out this way, Be sitting here, give them a nice place to stay warm. So you want to make sure these all line up the exact same on the casters, obviously, or it's going to be a huge mess. You're going to have to redo it all. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So as you can see, 2 of these have locks on them. So in the instructions, and it's a good tip, you just want to make sure these are facing the way you're facing if you actually want to implement them. So have them on the front, I guess, of each side of the rack. You have one here and one here probably. That way you can lock it or unlock it if you want to move the thing around. But I'm going to need Michaela's help for this one, so we're going to slide this one on, and then we will show you what it looks like, and then I should be able to put a couple on by myself. But like I said, a lot of this is very just redundant. Once you get it going, you get it going. So let's get this one on, and then we'll show you how we do the rest of them. All right, guys, so we got that first layer on. We're going to move on. Just if you have to do this alone, just make sure it's lined up, ease it in there. You might have to do some maneuvering, but it was pretty easy to put on. So all these things over here are your spacers, and so one goes on each. This is gonna separate your platforms or your layers. So you're gonna slide one on each. Bada boom. And I'll see if I can get one of these layers on. And so if you want to kind of show them right here real quick. So where Michaela is filming from, this side is gonna be the front. And if you can see, like I was telling you about, this is where your heat cable is going to run along the back. So you want to make sure that you line up every single one of them the same way. So this is probably going to be a little funky here with the first few until it gets, you know, super squared up, but I'm going to do it for you guys, I promise. Boom. Okay, here we go. There we go. So as you can see kind of how it's like different levels. You want to try to kind of make sure it's all going out the same thing. You don't want to break any of these plastic parts or anything. Kind of just work it down. And like I said, a lot of this is because it's still pretty wobbly right now from not being super squared up. Get a couple of these going and it should be easier along the way. I feel like the corners might be the key. Yeah, not like super forcing it, just popping it down, kind of leveling it up with the other ones. And so you work it down just like that, and like I said, it should get a little easier as we go on. This first couple are going to be kind of a little difficult just because you're trying to straighten these rods out, and it's going to be perfectly flat, so it's got to be perfect for it to get down. But then you do the same thing. You're going to put your spacers on again, add your next layer. Like I said, make sure you're putting this on the same side, so when you go to put your heat cable on, it's nice and straight, no problem. So we're going to do that real quick, and we will holler at you when we're ready to show you something new. We have come to the end of the first half of this. So now we're going to take these other vertical poles here and attach them to the rest, completing the top of the rack. So we're going to do that. And then honestly, after that, so you just hand tighten these on here, just like that, pretty easy. You're going to do that to the other ones, put your spacers on, and continue doing the same thing. So let's just go ahead and do that. Pretty awesome looking rack. We are almost done with the install, but you're gonna have to meet me at the top for the last step for installing. You have a little bag of hardware here, and if you notice, there's a little bit of space right here, but we have to tighten all this down. See how this is moving and stuff? You kind of want that not absolutely crushed, but you want that to not be moving. So in order to do that, we have to use this little spacer. They give you 6 of these in case it extends above, and you put this on top, and then you put the washer right through there. And then you just tighten it down you tighten that down, and of course we have the largest of these ever. But so you grab it, tighten it. You pretty much want to put all these on, go around and tighten them pretty good, and then retighten them to make sure. And these should just, they say should not be moving like this, so that when these are like that, you'll know you're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put around the put all the rest of them on, retighten them, and then we will holler back at you with the next step. So we've been running the heat tape up through here. We're up at the 6th level. They gave you 2 things of heat tape. Heat cable. And you're gonna need it. So we're on the last level here. I just wanted to make sure I had a good system for doing it. I think it's gonna work good. This is probably how you're supposed to do it anyway. So if you see here, this ends this one. We have ran it through down that side, kind of linked it all the way through, back around, hung it over the edge, and you just want to leave some slack right here so it's not pulled up against the tub and it's not popping out anything. And then what I've been doing is just running it across. You just press this in these loops right here. And then when I get over here, I've been going one here and then kind of making a square. And it's very customizable, just like a lot of stuff with this rack. You kind of just make it how you want it. All these little grooves right here, you can pack them as close or far apart as you want. As far as the heat cable goes, you can zigzag, crisscross, all that stuff. Just want to make sure it's connected pretty good, and then I run it back across, and I kind of try to keep these on this side a little closer just because there's only like a couple bands right here, but it should produce a lot of good heat. But yeah, so you thread it down one side, you stay on the same level, thread it back. And then you can tell we're almost done with this one. Then you thread it through down here. Like I said, leave some slack. What I like to do is just hold this and then press that in to where, you know, no tub's gonna hit, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you look right here, the tub slides in. If you want to see at the back right here on this side, the tub doesn't touch the cable at all. So it's not going to touch that. It keeps the guard, so everything's good there. But that's how we're going to do it. And then we're going to I'm going to finish that up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Got our heat cable all situated and hooked up. We went ahead and applied all these stoppers to the back, and then we'll just show you how to do it. Very, very simple. If you do want to come in here, we did mess up for a little bit and started putting them in here. And I believe that is the track for the V70s going this way. So we had to remove them, and they actually go in this outside crack right there, and that is the tub stopper, as you can see. And we'll whip this around if the dogs will move. You got an awesome world's first ball python, coolest python you've ever seen. Just fed it, awesome, great. Done for the night. You want to close it up? Boom, there it is, nice and sealed. It's not gonna crawl out the back, as you can see. Nice and sealed from that stopper right there. And then so this to me is kind of a extra add-on. I believe that came with the other ones too. I cannot remember, but it is this right here, and it's kind of a tub stopper. They can just go on the front, so nothing can press back out. Kind of cool. I don't think I'm gonna use them. And you can also put like the label there if you know to print a label, the genetics or name, however you want to classify the animal that is in this tub. I'm gonna keep these just in case, but a lot of times, you know, it's bang, clean, spot clean water, see what's going on, clothes. I don't really use these, but they're there. I think they are kind of cool if you wanted to use them. But that's pretty much it for the assembly of the rack, guys. So we're gonna throw all the tubs in there, get a good look at it as if it was completely full, and we'll show you that. All right, guys, there you have it, the Vision V-35 rack setup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have this or thinking about getting this, hope that helps with the setup. Pretty simple, very similar to the V70, and I like that one, so I'm really looking forward to testing this one out, especially with the new water bowls. Really excited about that. Big shout out to Vision for partnering with us. We actually have a couple other things in store for the future, so stay tuned for that. But gonna give you guys some 3-month, 6-month updates on how this rack performs, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. But as far as I can see right now, and its similarities to the V70, I'm pretty sure we're really gonna enjoy it. But big shout out to all you guys for checking in with us and tuning into these videos. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate the back and forth online. And if you aren't following us on Instagram, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Been posting some update photos of the babies. I know you can see them here in videos, but if you really want to stare at them, we have some pictures up on Instagram. It's Pervy to Pythons over there as well. Yeah, like I said, really appreciate you guys. We're climbing steadily to, I think we're right around like 830, maybe a little bit above that. So still on pace for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And yeah, really appreciate you guys once again. And hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. Peace.